Hey, Steve Zook, welcome back to Pokesoo channel and the Guitar Ladder System. I'm sitting here playing one of these 70s Garcias. This is not a performance, I'm just sharing my process a little. Not very warmed up. It takes me about an hour to warm up. But I really like these. I collect these. I probably should sell some of them. But what I want to talk about today, though, is probably going to sound a little new agey to some of you, but you know, everything is energy, and everything affects everything else. And even people like Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan used to talk about your electromagnetic field affects, you know, or your vibe, whatever you want to call it, affects a guitar. And what I'm talking about today is improving a guitar sound by playing it and your energy and your intention. When I first got this, of course, a guitar has to open up. Anybody who plays guitar, has been playing for a while, hopefully you've learned this. You know, it takes longer for an all solid wood guitar to open up than a guitar that's half solid and half laminate, which by the way is not a bad thing. I've even played guitars that were all laminate that sounded unbelievable. But half solid and half laminate is really pretty damn cool because there's a certain transparency to the laminate that helps the guitar breathe, and then that married to the solid top, it's really, you know, something where you don't have to get an all, I mean, I love all solid wood guitars too, but the most important thing to understand about not just guitars, but everything is there's a gray area. Everything's not black and white. You know, you just can't say a guitar has to be all solid to be a great guitar, or a guitar has to be all solid or half solid and half laminate to be a great guitar. There's gray areas. Every guitar sounds a little bit different, but what I'm talking about is opening up a guitar. When I first got this guitar, it sounded pretty good. But man, it sounds 3 times as good now, and it's sure it's from playing the guitar, but I honestly think that your intentions and your vibration and your electromagnetic field, they've proven that our electromagnetic field or aura, energy field, whatever you want to call it, goes out 40, 50, 60 feet. It's powerful, especially if you do a lot of meditation, which I've been doing for 38 years. But my intentions were kind of to wake up this guitar and play it and try to breathe life into it. I know that sounds a little new agey or a little Star Trek-y, but you know, there's something to it, you know. And also the way you play the guitar with the weight that you play and just it's a kind of a hard thing to explain. You know, some people can pick up a guitar and make it sound great, and somebody else pick up the same guitar is going to sound really average. Part of that is learning how to play with weight, and the way that you pick and the way you use your left hand. But I think a lot of it, they've even proven in quantum physics, and Maharishi Mahesh Yoga was talking about the unified field theory 45 years ago. They're still talking about it. You know, physicists are still talking about it. You know, the whole universe is connected, and when you observe something, the very act of observing it changes it. Well, it's the same thing with a musical instrument. When you play it and connect with it, you start to change it. And when you, of course, when you play it, you know, the wood vibrates and the molecules and everything vibrate. And some people even believe, and I've got this from some great violin players and collectors, that when you play a guitar a lot or any musical instrument, it kind of rearranges the molecular structure. I know this is probably, you know, gets, like I said, some people might think this is a little out there. I don't really care what you think. I'm just sharing, you know. Anyway, I mean, I do care what you think, but I'm just saying, you know, if you send me some really crazy email, I'm just going to, you know, I really don't like it when people get in my face big time. You can disagree with me, that's cool. Most people send me pretty cool email, messages off YouTube, but sometimes I get people just getting in my face big time. I really don't appreciate that. And that's just, that bad energy is just going to bounce back to yourself anyway. So, yeah, enough said on that. But anyway, yeah, the more that you play a guitar, the better it sounds, and your electromagnetic field affects it. Also, the way that you work your left hand with your right hand affects it a lot, But this guitar is a solid top with a laminate back and sides, but I really dig the sound of maple. And by the way, some guy emailed me a while back looking for a jumbo guitar, and I was suggesting one of my J45 copies, because the real magic of guitar tone is in the mid bass and the mids. The J45 type guitars, depending on the guitar, really have beautiful mid bass and mids. And oftentimes in a jumbo guitar, a guitar is basically a tune port design. A guitar is like a speaker. It's a tune port, and oftentimes all the sound moving around the inside of the guitar will actually cancel out sound and cancel out and muddy bass. And so, I mean, I like jumbo guitars too, but it's all about the magic mids and the magic mid bass. And I think the magic mids and the magic mid bass is stronger in like a J45 size guitar. I've played some pretty cool jumbos, but my point just being is all that extra body depth and size actually cancels out a lot of tone. So part of it's learning to listen for tone. But the magic, folks, I know somebody that was involved in an $800 million install in Las Vegas. This guy really knows sound. And we were talking one day. He was living over by where I used to live, kind of down by the ocean. But yeah, he was agreeing with me. It's all in the mid bass and the mids. I'm not saying treble isn't important, but there's a sweetness and articulation and clarity, and just mojo and holographic quality. And the J45s get this kind of buttery, rounded sound, but yet was also with great articulation, clarity. I know it sounds like a paradox. But yeah, I'm working in this tuning here, which I just love, where you make the G string an F sharp, and then you make the low D, the low E, I mean a D, and you get some really, it really makes the guitar, and there's some really neat chords you can do on it. Warm up my right hand before I try that. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So like if you buy a guitar from somebody, and I suggest you don't buy new, because usually you get screwed when you buy new, unless it's a company like the Music Link, which I carry their products like the lower arch tops and stuff, which are just a tremendous value. But it's better, most of the time it's better to buy used. But just when you buy any guitar, it takes time to wake it up, especially if it's been shipped from a long ways away. So give it some time, play it, as corny as it sounds, play that guitar with love, and really try to throw your energy and your intentions into it, and wake it up. But this is really a neat tuning. Tunings are great, because when you do tunings, it actually kind of, like Michael Hedges says, it's another universe. You have to find new chord forms. Hardest chord I know on this tuning. The action's not super low. But anyway, yeah, this is a great tuning. You can do a lot of simple things like this. Even simple things sound cool. forms like this. Now in regular tuning that would be a minor major. It's not in this tuning. I actually have a song I sent to John McLaughlin called Transformation. I'll send it to you if you email me at stevezook7@yahoo.com. That's the number 7, not spelled out. He actually listened to it and liked it. I was using kind of a lot of forms like this. I know. That's kind of a high tension chord. I like that chord a lot. Oh, here's another. There's tension. That's some nice tensional resolution. This is a really hard chord for me. There we go. I gotta push like hell. You take those extended triads by like Eric Johns. They sound kind of neat on this guitar. Anyway, I'm not warmed up, so it's always a little frustrating to play. But yeah, if you buy a guitar from somebody, give it a chance. Spend, 10 hours playing it. Give it. It's going to take longer than that sometimes to open up, but just the more you play guitar, the more it will open up, and the way you play the guitar, the more it opens up, and the stronger your technique, the more it opens up. Technique is not just for playing fast; it's also for learning to create tone, and by having more technique, you'll create more tone. Anyway, just a short little video here. As always, let's all focus on positive thoughts. When you focus on positive thoughts, you're more in alignment with the perfection of the universe. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.